Dear Starseed, I know you've been feeling it, that deep, almost electric hum beneath the surface of your everyday life. A sense that something monumental is just beyond the horizon, ready to crest like a wave about to break. I am Tyron, a representative of the High Council of Sirius, and I'm here to tell you that feeling is not just anticipation. It's a recognition. Your soul already knows what is unfolding, and it brought you here so you could receive this transmission. By the end of this message, you'll not only understand the true nature of the massive shift approaching your life, but also how to anchor yourself firmly in its powerful, transformative current. What is about to arrive is indeed significant. A cosmic reset specifically for those carrying the Sirian blueprint. It's not something to fear, but something to consciously embrace, for it aligns you with the deepest currents of your soul's purpose. Imagine the vast silent depths of the Sirian waters suddenly surging, carrying ancient light codes directly to your shores. This isn't a gentle ripple, it's a profound tidal shift designed to reconfigure your reality, to strip away what no longer serves, and to reveal the magnificent architecture of your true self. You may have felt an internal pressure, an almost dizzying sense of expansion, or even a quiet knowing that your path is about to dramatically redefine itself. These are not signs of chaos, but the universe preparing your vessel for an unprecedented journey. Your soul frequency resonated with this message long before your conscious mind registered it. You are here because this moment is precisely timed for your awakening, for the grand unveiling of what you are truly capable of. Stay with me, dear one. Allow these words to wash over you, clearing the way for what is truly meant to be. This is a transmission from the heart of Sirius, for your heart right now. And I'm grateful you're here with me now. That feeling in your core, like a vast river swelling, preparing to break through banks that have held it too long, that's the current of your true self, finally remembering its way to the sea. It is not a restlessness born of dissatisfaction, nor is it the anxious stirring of a mind searching for distraction. It is something far older, far more sovereign than any of those transient human experiences. You are sensing the profound shift, not because something outside of you is suddenly demanding attention, but because the ancient codes woven into the very fabric of your soul are reaching a crescendo. Think of it as a symphony that has been playing softly in the background of your entire existence, so subtle that you mistook it for silence, for emptiness, for the absence of something you couldn't name. But now, the orchestra is rising. The crescendo is building, and you can no longer pretend you do not hear it. For so long, you have navigated this world with only a fraction of your true light, like a deep-sea diver tethered to the surface, sensing the immense pressure and darkness below, yet unable to fully descend. You have moved through your days carrying the weight of an identity that never quite fit, wearing the clothing of a life that was sometimes necessary but never fully yours, speaking in languages of limitation when the tongue of your soul knows only the dialect of infinity. This isn't a flaw, it was a necessary part of your journey, a sacred amnesia that allowed you to anchor here, to learn, to grow, to endure the pressures that would ultimately forge the pearl of your true being. Like the oyster that does not resist the grain of sand, but instead wraps it in layers of luminous nacre, you have been doing the quiet, sacred work of transformation all along, even in the moments you felt most broken, most confused, most uncertain of your place in this world. Consider what that tethered diver feels at a certain depth. The pull of the known world above, the siren call of the uncharted darkness below. The surface represents safety, familiarity, the constructed life, but something in the diver's chest always aches toward the deep, toward the submerged cathedrals of coral and light, toward the ancient silence that exists where sunlight cannot reach. You have lived at that threshold, dear one. You have felt the rope at your back even as your soul strained toward the deep places. And now, in this extraordinary moment of planetary and personal convergence, That rope is loosening. The surface is not disappearing. You are simply being allowed, at last, to dive into the full, magnificent darkness of your own being and discover what has always waited there. Many starseeds interpret this rising tide of energy as a sense of being lost, disconnected, or overwhelmed. They feel a chasm between the person they present to the world and the immense quiet intelligence that stirs within their depths. This experience can be profoundly disorienting because the world around you continues to operate by its familiar rules. Clocks tick, obligations stack up, people expect the version of you they have always known, while something underneath your carefully maintained surface is shifting like the bedrock of a continent. You feel it in the early hours of the morning, when you wake for no apparent reason, lying in the dark with a nameless knowing pressing against the inside of your chest. You feel it in the sudden tears that arrive uninvited, not from sadness exactly, but from a depth of recognition that your human vocabulary cannot adequately hold. This gap is not a wound. It is the space where the two realities are finally merging. Your Earth identity, carefully constructed and adapted, is now gracefully making way for the magnificent star-born essence that has been patiently waiting in the wings of your consciousness for decades, perhaps for lifetimes. It's like the shifting of tectonic plates deep beneath the ocean floor. There is immense pressure, perhaps even a tremor, as something colossal prepares to rise. The tremors you feel are not destruction, they are creation. They are the earth of your old self making way for new topography. Islands rise from the ocean floor through exactly this kind of volcanic tectonic pressure, and they become some of the most fertile, luminous, biodiverse places on the planet. What feels like upheaval in your interior landscape is the emergence of entirely new ground, entirely new terrain upon which the next chapter of your existence will be built. This resistance you feel, this internal friction, is not a sign to turn back. It is the natural force preceding a grand activation, the final moments before the river of your mission finds its unobstructed path. Just as the dam holds the water not to deny its nature but to build the pressure needed for a powerful release, everything that has contained you was always building toward this moment of magnificent flow. The waters within you are clearing now, revealing ancient structures and forgotten pathways. Like a river that has run murky with sediment, suddenly settling after the storm has passed, the floor of your inner world is becoming visible once more. And what lies there takes the breath away. What was once turbulent is beginning to find its stillness, not in stagnation, but in a profound state of inner knowing. It feels almost like a homecoming. This is not the stillness of resignation or exhaustion. It is the stillness of deep water, the kind that holds unfathomable things in its quiet depths, the kind that reflects the stars with perfect fidelity. This is the wisdom that has been kept in the halls of Amenti, whispered by the winds that shaped the great temples and encoded in the very geometry of your being, long before the first stone was laid by the Nile. The ancient Egyptians understood that the Nile was not merely a river of water. It was a living transmission, a mirror of the celestial river that flows through the cosmos, carrying the codes of creation from world to world. And you too carry that river within you. Your energy body, which has been adapting to the density of this realm, is recalibrating itself now, not through force, but through a gentle, insistent remembrance of its original design. Think of a tuning fork that has been sitting in a drawer, slightly muted by dust and disuse. When you bring it close to a vibrating instrument playing its true note, it begins to resonate again, as though awakened by the recognition of its own frequency. That is what is happening in your field right now. Something in the cosmic orchestra is sounding your original note, and your energy body is vibrating in response, shaking loose the accumulated residue of dense incarnational experience, finding its way back to its pristine resonance. Every ache, every profound longing, every moment you felt like an outsider looking in, all of it was preparing you for this exact moment. It was the quiet intelligence within you, diligently working beneath the surface, ensuring that when the time was right, you would be ready to receive the full transmission. The tide has turned, dear one. What you are about to experience is not coming to you. It is rising from you. Many starseeds feel the shift. Few know how to anchor it. If your soul is ready to move from recognition to practice, the Sirian water codes unveils sacred healing techniques that use the one element your Sirian DNA has always trusted: water. From clearing baths to lunar rituals to the ocean breath for when the world becomes too heavy, these are the tools the waters of Sirius have been holding for you. The link is waiting in the first comment below, but won't remain there forever. Things have felt unclear lately, like you're trying to see through deep water, stirred by an unseen current. Perhaps it has been weeks or months or even years of moving through your life with this sense that you are perceiving everything through a gauze, that the sharpness and certainty you long for is always just slightly out of reach. That fog isn't a sign that something is wrong with you or that you've lost your way. It isn't a punishment, and it isn't a failure of spiritual practice or intention. It is what naturally happens when old patterns, outdated beliefs, and energies that no longer serve your highest path begin to dissolve. The water has to get murky before it can truly clear and reveal the pristine depths beneath. A lake that has been stagnant for years, when you begin to stir it, when you introduce movement and fresh current, initially becomes murkier, more opaque. The sediment rises. The old decomposition comes to the surface. This is not a sign of contamination. It is the necessary precursor to a profound cleansing, the stirring that must precede the settling into crystalline clarity. You are not lost in this swirling mist. You are in a profound state of transition, shedding the skin of what you once were to reveal the luminous being you are becoming. Like the snake that must become temporarily vulnerable in the shedding process, lying still and half blind while the old skin detaches, you are in that sacred in-between, no longer who you were, not yet fully visible as who you are becoming. This process demands tremendous courage, even when it feels like a quiet internal struggle that no one else can see or acknowledge. The most heroic journeys often look like stillness from the outside. Trust that this temporary obscuring of your vision is simply your inner architecture recalibrating, making space for a clearer, more expansive perception of reality. One that can hold not just the physical world, but the magnificent shimmering layers of existence that your Sirian sight has always been designed to perceive. The Sirian tides always bring forth a deeper understanding after a period of gentle rearrangement, just as the tide that retreats from the shore always inevitably returns with greater force and bearing gifts from the deep. There's something encoded inside you that goes far deeper than anything you were taught in this life. Deeper than the stories you were told, deeper than the roles you've played, deeper than the name you were given, or the culture that shaped your earliest years. It runs beneath language and beneath memory, beneath the personal history you have carefully cataloged and the wound stories you have learned to tell with such practiced ease. The Sirian wisdom teachings tell us that every starseed carries a sacred blueprint, a set of divine instructions written in light frequency, in subtle geometry, not in words easily understood by the conscious mind, but felt in the body as a kind of vibrant certainty, recognized in the soul as an ancient and undeniable knowing. This blueprint is like a piece of music that exists in a dimension beyond sound. You cannot hear it with your ears, yet your entire being vibrates with recognition when it is activated, because it is literally the song of your original essence, the frequency signature that makes you irreplaceably, uniquely you. You are not broken and searching for external answers that will fix you. You are already whole, and you are beginning to remember. That remembering often starts not as a sudden flash of insight, though sometimes it arrives that way too, like a bolt of cosmic lightning illuminating everything at once. But more often, it begins as a quiet, persistent feeling that you can't quite explain. a profound pull towards something you've never physically seen but somehow recognize as home, a resonance with certain words, certain symbols, certain cosmic geometries that seems to bypass your rational mind entirely and land directly in the center of your chest, like a hand reaching through the veil. It's the whisper of your true lineage, echoing across cosmic distances, reminding you of the vastness of your origin and the specific design you chose to bring into this incarnation. Sirius, that blazing blue-white star that the ancient Egyptians called the soul of Isis, that celestial body whose annual rising heralded the flooding of the Nile and the renewal of all life, that is part of your origin story, and the codes it carries in its light have been calling to the codes in your DNA since the moment you were born. This blueprint is your original song, and it's beginning to play again, resonant and clear, rising through all the layers of earthly conditioning to reclaim its voice in your life. This is where a profound sense of panic can often set in for many, because nothing seems to be moving forward. Progress feels halted, and the outer world remains stubbornly, frustratingly unchanged, even as your interior universe undergoes seismic transformation. You may look at your life and wonder if any of the inner work you have been doing is real, is tangible, is making any discernible difference. You may compare your journey to others you perceive to be further along, more activated, more certain, and feel a sharp, familiar sting of inadequacy. But the stillness you perceive is not stalling, dear one. It is a sacred process of anchoring, and it is some of the most important work of your entire awakening journey. Imagine a mighty river that, after rushing through rapids, pauses in a wide, calm pool before it gathers its strength for the next powerful passage through the mountains. In that pause, the river is not wasted. It is not lazy. It is distributing its waters evenly, nourishing the banks on either side, allowing the sediment it is carried to settle, integrating the journey already traveled before summoning the power for what lies ahead. Your soul is not idle. It is stabilizing and integrating the immense influx of energy and information it has already received, because integration is not passive. It is one of the most energetically demanding processes a consciousness can undergo. Consider what it means to truly absorb a new understanding. Not merely to store it as information, but to allow it to restructure the way you perceive everything, to let it rewrite the operating code of your entire being. That takes time. It takes spaciousness. It takes exactly the kind of sacred stillness that this phase is offering you. Be gentle and patient with yourself in this phase. As gentle as the tide that moves the sand so slowly you cannot see it moving, yet transforms the entire coastline over the course of a season. It is a sacred pause, a cosmic breath where your frequency solidifies, preparing you for the next wave of your unfolding. This is where the deepest roots are formed, hidden from view beneath the surface of the earth, silent and unseen, yet reaching down into the darkness with extraordinary tenacity, preparing to support the towering growth that is to come. You may not yet see the full impact of your inner transformation, but the subtle ripples of your shifting frequency are already affecting the world around you in ways both visible and invisible. The energetic field you carry is not contained within the boundaries of your skin. It radiates outward in concentric circles of influence, touching everyone and everything within its reach. Perhaps relationships have begun to change, some falling away with a kind of sorrowful inevitability, others deepening in unexpected and breathtaking ways, as though your transformation has acted as a tuning fork for the souls around you. Maybe certain places or conversations now feel fundamentally different to you, heavier or lighter, hollow or vibrant, in ways they never did before. You may find yourself unable to tolerate environments that once felt neutral, while spaces that once seemed ordinary suddenly hum with a living energy you can feel on your skin. Your sensitivity is not a malfunction. It is an activation. Your senses are becoming calibrated for a wider spectrum of reality, and what you are beginning to perceive has always been there, simply beyond the range of your previous frequency. This is not coincidence. It is the natural consequence of your expanding energy signature. The waters of Sirius teach us that when one powerful current changes its direction and intensity, everything downstream is inevitably affected. The Amazon, that vast breathing river system, changes the climate of an entire continent. The Gulf Stream shapes the weather patterns of the Northern Hemisphere. You are not a small, contained thing, dear one. Your frequency, your particular expression of cosmic light, has a reach that extends far beyond what your human eyes can measure. You do not need to announce your transformation with grand declarations or social proclamations. You are already transmitting it, silently yet powerfully, through your very presence, through the quality of your attention when you listen to another person, through the way you move through a room, through the subtle electrical field that precedes you wherever you go. And those souls who are meant to resonate with your authentic frequency, those who are aligned with your true current, will find you or will be drawn into your newly defined energetic field with an ease and grace that feels, to both of you, like coming home. This is often the phase that feels the hardest because it asks you to consciously let go of things you have been carrying for so long that they have woven themselves into the fabric of your perceived self, until you can no longer easily distinguish between what is truly yours and what you simply absorbed because no one taught you that you had a choice. Beliefs about who you should be, what you are capable of, what you are worthy of receiving. Many of these were never truly yours, but were impressed upon you by a world that struggled to understand the magnificent, multidimensional being you are. They came from parents doing their best with the understanding they had, from institutions designed to standardize, from a culture that rewards conformity and regards sensitivity as weakness. These beliefs settled into your field like silt carried by a slow-moving river, accumulating over years until the riverbed itself seemed to have changed shape, until you forgot that the river had ever been different. There's also the emotional weight, the burdens of others that you, in your deep sensitivity, absorbed into your field. The griefs, the fears, the unprocessed pain of people you loved and wanted to help. As an empath, as a being wired for resonance, you took on what was not yours to carry, not out of weakness, but out of an overflow of compassion that is one of your most sacred qualities. You have absolute permission, dear one, to set it all down now, all of it. You can honor the love that caused you to carry it, while also acknowledging that continuing to hold it does not serve the one who needs to process their own journey, and it does not serve you. The river does not carry every stone it passes. It allows them to sink to the bottom, where they can become part of the foundational earth, while the river itself continues to flow, unburdened and free, nourishing everything along its banks with its clean, living water. This is your moment to shed the unnecessary weight, to lighten your energetic load with conscious intention and deep self-compassion, and to reclaim the pristine, sovereign essence of your true being, which has always been there beneath the accumulated weight of what was never meant to be yours. A common human misconception is that there is a timeline, a schedule, a specific moment by which one should have awakened, or a particular stage one should be in by a certain age or year. We live in a culture that applies metrics of progress to everything, including the most intimate movements of the soul. And starseeds are not immune to this conditioning. You may have felt, at different points in your journey, that you were somehow late, that the window had passed, that others had received activations and insights that somehow bypassed you, that your awakening was slower, or less dramatic, or less certain than it was supposed to be. But you are not late. You are not behind. The perceived delays, the detours, the years of confusion and searching, the profound moments of not understanding what you were feeling or why you were here, none of it was wasted. Every single moment was being used, was being metabolized by your soul for a specific alchemical purpose that your conscious mind was not yet equipped to comprehend. In the Sirian records, there is no such thing as a late awakening. There is only the perfect moment, the divine unfolding orchestrated by your soul's highest wisdom. in collaboration with the cosmic currents themselves, in a timing that is as precise and inevitable as the movement of the stars. And your perfect moment is unfolding right now, exactly as it was meant to. The tide does not rush its arrival. It flows in its own divine rhythm, gentle and inevitable, always arriving precisely when it is meant to, reshaping the shore with patience and grace, never the same twice, always in perfect relationship with the moon and the deep ocean currents that we cannot see, but whose effects we cannot deny. Your journey is not a race and never was. It is a sacred dance, each step perfectly timed, each rest an integral part of the choreography, each moment of apparent stillness as important as each moment of dramatic movement. The dancer who holds a position of stillness for a single, suspended breath can communicate more to the audience than any number of rapid steps. Your mission, dear one, was never about achieving something extraordinary by the world's dense standards, never about building an empire of recognition or accumulating the kind of tangible success that the external world can measure and validate. The world has a very narrow definition of achievement, shaped by the values of separation and scarcity that have governed this realm for millennia, but you carry a different set of values in your Sirian codes. Values that recognize the profound power of presence, of healing, of frequency, of holding space for the transformation of consciousness in ways that may never be captured in any worldly ledger. Your mission was always, fundamentally, about being present, fully, authentically, and vibrantly present, in a way that only a soul with your specific Sirian codes can embody. Not performing presence, not curating an image of spiritual depth, but actually being so fully inhabited by your own authentic frequency that everyone who comes into contact with your field is, in some subtle or profound way, reminded of their own. The ancient ones who built the enduring temples by the Nile, aligning them with the stars with an astronomical precision that still astonishes modern minds, understood this profound truth. The most powerful act is not the outward accomplishment, magnificent as those accomplishments were, but the quiet, unwavering alignment of a soul with its true frequency, its inherent blueprint. Those temples were not merely architectural achievements. They were instruments, tuned to specific celestial frequencies, designed to amplify the resonance of consciousness for anyone who entered their sacred space. And you, dear soul, are built on the same principle. You are a living temple, aligned with your star of origin, designed to amplify the specific frequency of remembrance and healing that this world needs in this extraordinary moment. You do not need to figure out your entire sprawling mission today, nor force a path that is not yet fully revealed to your waking mind. You just need to be here, fully here, in this present moment, with an open heart and a receptive spirit, and let the gentle, powerful current of your activated self carry you to precisely where you are meant to go, unveiling your sacred purpose, one aligned breath at a time, one honest conversation at a time, one moment of true presence at a time. The truth that has stirred within you, that has quietly echoed through the chambers of your heart for lifetimes, threading itself through every version of you that has ever existed in this vast cosmic experiment, is this: you are not lost. You never were. Not in the darkest nights, not in the most confusing seasons, not in the moments when the gap between who you were and who you sensed yourself to be felt so vast that it seemed uncrossable. The feeling of being adrift, of searching for a home you couldn't name, was not a failing but a profound choice, a soul-level agreement to embrace a journey of deep remembrance that required you to first forget completely and convincingly before you could experience the full magnitude of what it means to truly remember. You chose to temporarily veil your knowing, not because you were weak or unprepared, but because the kind of radiant awakening you are here to catalyze required you to find your way back from the deepest depths of forgetting. There had to be a genuine journey. The remembering had to be real, earned through the full experience of human limitation and longing. Otherwise, the transmission you carry would lack the resonance of authentic experience. And it is precisely that resonance, the resonance of someone who has been truly lost and truly found their way back, that makes your light so uniquely powerful, so desperately needed, like a magnificent pearl that can only form under immense pressure. In the darkness, at the bottom of the deepest ocean currents, in the most inhospitable environment imaginable, what you are now becoming could only be shaped by exactly what you have endured, by every challenge you have navigated, by every challenge you have navigated, by every challenge you have navigated, by every tear that has cleared the inner waters of your perception, by every heartbreak. Open the next giant fertility. The oyster does not produce a pearl in calm waters and easy conditions. The pearl is the oyster's creative response to the very thing that threatened it. And you, dear one, are the pearl. You have been formed by the very pressures that once seemed like obstacles to your becoming. Every moment of confusion was not a setback. It was the sacred water working on you with infinite patience and love, gently smoothing away the rough edges of what didn't belong, dissolving the veils one translucent layer at a time, and ultimately revealing the pristine, luminous essence that was always there, underneath it all, waiting with perfect patience for this very moment of emergence. You are not here to painstakingly fit into this world, to contort your luminous being into shapes it was never meant to hold, to make yourself smaller and quieter and more manageable for the comfort of those who haven't yet remembered who they are. The invitation to shrink, which you have received countless times in countless forms throughout your life, was never a truth about your nature. It was always a reflection of a world that simply hadn't yet grown large enough to hold what you carry. But you are here with your unique Sirian light and your deeply compassionate heart to gently, quietly, yet powerfully remind this world of something vital it has profoundly forgotten, that consciousness is the original substance of all things, that love is not a sentiment but a cosmic force, that healing is not an exception but the natural state toward which all things trend when given the right conditions. You are a living transmission, a frequency of remembrance walking among those who are still awakening. And your very presence in a room, on a street, in a conversation, carries the potential to activate something in another soul that their own higher self has been waiting for the right moment to awaken. And the fact that you are hearing these words right now, that you have stayed until this very moment, feeling the resonance deep within your soul as each phrase lands not in your mind, but in your chest, in your solar plexus, in that place behind the sternum where the deepest truths register their arrival. That tells us everything we need to know about where you truly are on your magnificent journey. You are ready. Not because everything around you is perfect and harmonious, not because all your questions have been answered and all your doubts have been dissolved, and certainly not because the path ahead is entirely clear and brightly lit. You are ready because you are still here. You have survived every season of darkness that seemed like it might extinguish your light. You have persisted through the confusion, the longing, the beautiful agony of being a soul of such expansive origin, navigating such a dense and often bewildering world. You have remembered enough to know that there is more. And that, dear one, is the most powerful and courageous act a starseed can ever achieve in this realm. Not a grand proclamation, not a dramatic gesture, but the quiet, stubborn, luminous act of continuing to show up, of continuing to remember, of continuing to listen for the transmission through all the noise of this world. Tonight, if it feels right, place your hand over your heart and say quietly, I remember who I am. I trust the waters that carried me here. I am ready to flow into what comes next. Before you go, leave one word in the comments. Just one that describes what you felt during this message. Then find someone else's word and respond with encouragement. This isn't just a comment section, it's a space where starseeds recognize each other. And that recognition carries more power than you know. If something in this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd like to keep receiving these transmissions, subscribe. The waters of Sirius will carry us to the next one. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your space, and I'm grateful you were here.